जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन।
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 यमुना तीरावनचारी।
यमुना तीरावनचारी।
यमुना तीरावनचारी।
यमुना तीरावनचारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया।
नित्यं भागवत सेवया।
भगवती उत्तम श्लोके
भगवती उत्तम श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी।
भक्ति भवति नैष्ठिकी।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13, text number 5, 6 and 7. Oh, sorry. 5, 6, 7. Okay. प्रत्युजग्मुः प्रहर्षेण प्रहर्षेण प्राणं तन्वा इवागतम् प्राणं तन्वा इवागतम् अभिसंगम्य विधिवत् संगम्य विधिवत् परिष्वङ्गाभिवादनै संवाभिवादनै प्रत्युजग्मुः प्रहर्षेण जग्मुः प्रहर्षेण प्राणं तन्वा इवागतम् तन्वा इवागतम् अभिसंगम्य विधिवत् परिष्वङ्गाभिवादनै अति towards उज्जग्मुः went प्रहर्षेण with great delight Pranam,
Pranam,
life.
life.
Tanvah,
Tanva,
of the body.
of the body.
Iva,
Eva,
like.
life.
Agatam,
Agatam,
return.
return.
Abhisangamya,
Abhisangamya,
approaching.
approaching.
Vidhivat,
Vidivat,
in due form.
in the due form.
Parishvanga,
Parishanga,
embracing.
embracing.
Abhivadanai,
Abhivadane,
by obeisances.
by obeisances.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
With great delight, they all approached him as if life had returned to their bodies. They exchanged obeisances and welcomed each other with embraces. Please repeat. With great delight,
With great delight,
they all approached him
they all approached him
as if life had returned
as if life had returned
to their bodies.
to their body.
They exchanged obeisances
They exchanged obeisances
and welcomed each other
and welcomed each other
with embraces.
with embraces.
Purport. In the absence of consciousness, the limbs of the body remain inactive. But when consciousness returns, the limbs and senses become active, and existence itself becomes delightful. Vidura was so dear to the members of the Kaurava family that his long absence from the palace was comparable to inactivity. All of them were feeling acute separation from Vidura, and therefore his return to the palace was joyful for all. Take the next one. 6. Mumuchu prema vasapaugham, prema vasapaugham, virahautta kanthya katara, kantha katara, rajatam arhayam chakre,
Rajatam Harya Chakre,
rajatam arhayam chakre,
Rajatam Nyaya Chakre,
kratasana parigraham,
Pratasana Parigraham,
kratasana parigraham,
Pratasana Parigraham,
mumuchuhu,
Mutsu,
emanated,
eliminated.
prema,
Prema,
affectionate,
affectionate.
bashpa ogam,
Bhaspa, Ogam,
emotional tears,
emotional tears.
viraha,
Viraha,
separation,
separation.
outkanthya,
Outkanthya,
anxiousness,
anxiousness.
katara,
Katraha,
being aggrieved,
being aggrieved.
raja,
Raja,
King Yudhishthir,
in music.
tam,
Come
unto him,
unto him.
arhayam chakre,
Anayam Chakre,
offered,
offered.
krita,
Prata,
performance of,
performance of
asana,
asana,
sitting accommodations,
sitting accommodation,
parigraham,
parigraham,
arrangement of.
arrangement of.
Due to anxieties and long separation, they all cried out of affection. King Yudhishthir then arranged to offer sitting accommodations and a reception. Take the next one too. Tam bhuktavantam vishrantam
Sambhuktavanta Vishrantam,
asinam sukham asane
Asinam Sukham Asine,
prashrya vannato raja
Prashnya Vannato Raja,
prahatesham cha shanavatam
Vahate Shancha Shravanavatam,
tam
Tam,
him
him,
bhuktavantam
Bhuktavantam,
after feeding him sumptuously
after feeding him sumptuously,
vishrantam
Vishrantam,
and having taken rest
and having taken rest,
asinam
Asinam,
being seated
being seated,
sukham asane
Sukham Asane,
on a comfortable seat
on a comfortable seat,
prashraya avantaha
Prashnaye Avantaha,
naturally very gentle and meek
naturally very gentle and meek,
raja
Raja,
King Yudhishthira
being
praha
Praha,
began to speak
began to speak,
tesham cha
Veshamcha,
and by them
and by them,
shanvatam
Sarvatam,
being heard.
being heard.
After Vidura ate sumptuously and took sufficient rest, he was comfortably seated. Then the king began to speak to him, and all who were present there listened. King Yudhishthir was expert in reception also, even in the case of his family members. Vidura was well received by all the family members by exchange of embraces and obeisances. After that, bathing and arrangements for a sumptuous dinner were made, and then he was given sufficient rest. After finishing his rest, he was offered a comfortable place to sit, and then the king began to talk about all happenings, both family and otherwise. That is the proper way to receive a beloved friend or even an enemy. According to Indian moral codes, even an enemy received at home should be so well received that he will not feel any fearful situation. An enemy is always afraid of his enemy, but this should not be so when he is received at home by his enemy. This means that a person, when received at home, should be treated as a relative. So, what to speak of a family member like Vidura, who was a well-wisher for all the members of the family. Thus, Yudhishthir Maharaj began to speak in the presence of all the other members. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminiti Namine Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Satyajagmahu Praharshena Pranam Tanva Ivagatam Abhisangamya Vidivat Parishwangabhi Vadanahi. With great delight, they all approached him as if life had returned to their bodies. They exchanged obeisances and welcomed each other with embraces. Mumuchu prema bashpaogham viraha kaunthaya utkanthya katara rajatam arayam chakre pratsana parigraham. Due to anxieties and long separation, they all cried out of affection. King Yudhishthir then arranged to offer sitting accommodations and a reception. Tam bhuktavantam vishrantam asinam sukham asane prashayavanato raja prahatesham cha shanavatam. After Vidura ate sumptuously and took sufficient rest, he was comfortably seated. Then the king began to speak to him, and all who were present there listened. Now, Suta Goswami is just, yesterday we saw that how everybody in the family, all the names were there. They all received Vidura, who came back from the pilgrimage. When the Mahabharata war was being fought, he had gone for a pilgrimage. He did not take part. He and Balaram, they did not take part. So now here, some etiquettes are being taught to us, Srimad Bhagavatam. How when a guest comes, or anybody comes to your home, how he should be received. And Maharaj Yudhishthir, being a perfect gentleman, he shows by his own example. That's how the king should be. King should be showing everything with his own example. Then only the people will follow. So we see that one great message that comes is that, the person when he comes after a long journey, he should be welcomed. Then he should be allowed to freshen himself, feed him nicely, and then give him a seat. And then you start talking. Not that, he is so tired and you start talking about, oh, what happened, this, that, and then the person will not be able to tell you properly. And about the welcoming, Srila Prabhupada gave this wonderful instructions that how even an enemy should be welcomed. Atithi, the The person who comes to your house is called Atithi. The very meaning of Atithi means, Tithi means date. That means you know that something is going to happen. Atithi means without date. A is opposite of Tithi. Atithi means one who comes without informing. He is not a guest, he is a Atithi. You can say unexpected guest. That is Atithi. So even if an Atithi comes, Atithi Devo Bhava, they say in our scriptures, he should be treated like God. But of course, we know in the material world now that sometimes Atithi are not so welcome. Especially if you know about the Atithi, what kind of an Atithi is he? So, okay, as a formality, you do everything, but then you start thinking about how to get rid of him. But not during the Yudhishthir's time. That was a real difference between then and now. Now people ask, there are consultants who will tell you how to get rid of the Atithi, like they can approach and say, how so and so is coming and he's just, I can't stand with him. So, but so that's what is happening now. But what Srimad Bhagavatam teaches us is that doesn't matter. You take care, because when the enemy will see the good reception, his heart will also melt. He may not remain an enemy. So it's a good golden opportunity, because first of all, the enemy will not come to your house just without reason. He will. Of course, nowadays they say the enemy will come and shoot. If you open the door, he will shoot you. But that's an extreme situation. Generally, I am talking now. Exceptions are there. We don't see this happening many times that the enemy comes and starts shooting. The point is that whatever is the adverse situation, we should remain, especially as a devotee, it's our duty to remain very focused, very steady, very steadfast, like no wavering. That's the quality Krishna discusses in Bhagavad Gita. One of the qualities is equipoise and very humble. This way we keep learning, and now Yudhishthir Maharaj is going to speak, and he will speak about, he'll ask Vidura now what happened, where he went and all that. So, nice instructions. I'd like to stop here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.